Hi everyone, myself Jatadhari. I am faculty at KSG, and today we are going to discuss with Shradha Shukla, uh, this year rank 45. And first of all, congratulations, and we'll discuss regarding this preparation strategy and her journey, how he started and all. We'll discuss because now this prelims result has been published, and now everyone is ready for the mains. So we'll discuss about the different strategy. I think in paper 4 she has secured a good marks. So regarding that, like how to answer questions on paper 4 and how to write those case studies, we'll discuss that. So let's begin this session. So ma'am, please give your brief background, like when you started and what was your like how many number of attempts you are given. So please tell us about your background and all.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as you told that my name is Shradha and I have secured All India rank of 45 this year. Before this, I have given two more attempts in UPSC Civil Services Examination. In my first attempt, I could not clear prelims and make it to mains. But in my second attempt, I could not be there in the final list, but then I was given a service through reserve list, Indian Post and Telecommunication Accounts and Finance Service, of which I am undergoing training currently in Faridabad. This was my third concurrent attempt, and in this I secured All India rank of 45.
So when you, I mean, in which year you decided to start this preparation and all?
Sir, I had started preparing for civil services along with my college only. So I started during my graduation days itself. Although in my first and second year of college, I could not concentrate completely. But in my third year, I gave some time to finish my basic NCRTs. And after that, in first year of my masters, I had done masters in physics. I solely dedicated 2 complete years for preparation. And in second year of my masters itself, I was able to secure a service.
So let's come to the strategy, like how you this manage this general studies paper. Your optional was geography, and you have scored well in the GS paper 1 also. So can you please share your strategy with respect to GS paper 1?
So GS paper 1 includes all the subjects that we had studied in prelims itself. So my strategy for GS 1 was a bit different, that I had dedicated more time for the topic society, which we had not studied in prelims, and made concise notes for it. For the other topics like history and geography and culture part, what I did was I revised my prelims material, but with a different perspective. I underlined and made some micro notes kind of thing. I had like kept 10-12 pages in my hands, and I wrote all the words that I could use in my mains paper from the prelims source itself. So for example, art and culture part, what I did was I just wrote all the topics in a paper and just wrote few examples here and there which I can quote in paper 1 of GS. So that way I used to revise all the prelims material twice and thrice during mains. And for society per se, I collected various examples from the original sources like newspaper, which others would not write, kind of unique examples. And I use that example in multiple ways. Sir, I also used to decide some coherent topic from GS 1, 2, 3, whichever topics are similar. For example, in society, we also study poverty, which is also there in paper 3 as well as in paper 2 in some form. So what I did was I just prepared poverty one time and I used that particular whatever I have prepared for all the papers. So I used to make some list of topics which are common and then prepare for them. This way I did my GS1 preparations.
Okay, so it's a kind of interlinking of topics and also that way you prepared this GS paper. In GS
Yes.
paper 2 also, I mean this polity is there and it's kind of dynamism, and I met some students after this prelims result. They were saying, "Sir, last year also we wrote mains, but polity was kind of a bit tricky or difficult because first 2 questions were kind of something difficult for us, so we could not do well." So what would be your take on this GS paper 2, because you have scored a decent mark in that?
Yes, sir. In paper 2, I had scored good marks last year also. In paper 2, sir, I feel that while writing paper only, you start feeling that you cannot do something very extraordinary because the paper becomes very boring at a time. You have to write same polity stuff, governance stuffs, and you cannot write anything new which others are not writing. So you need to put in some extra efforts during preparation only, so that you can make your paper unique. In this paper 2 part, what I did was, again I had made very micro notes, kind of 14-15 pages notes. I had revised Lakshmikant in perspective to write mains only very selectively, so that I can replicate stuffs there. I can write similar stuffs there, and I used keywords there. The original words which are used in Indian Constitution. I used to flip the pages of bare acts only and include all the original articles as well as original lines. Sometimes I used to quote also the original line whatever is written in Constitution. And in governance, I tried to make the answer very interesting by making some flow charts, because in entire paper 2 there is very little scope of making diagrams and flow charts, so you need to put in some effort. So what I did was, I beforehandedly I prepared some flow charts which can be used ready-made, ready-made flow charts which can be used anywhere in any question. So I made sure that in at least out of 20, in at least 10 questions, I do some kind of extra addition in my answers. The 10 questions can be generic and simple and like others, but the 10 question must have a scope to give me 1 or 1.5 marks extra than others. So this way I did my paper 2 preparation.
Okay, so that means this X factor kind of thing, like the flow chart and diagram, that makes your answer unique. So can you please elaborate, like what are other such subjects or papers where these flow chart or graph or there's something which we call X factor that we can add in our answer?
Sir, in paper 1 also there is a lot of scope. Paper 1 we do not need to think much, because there is geography which you can easily use flow charts and things like that, diagrams, maps there easily. But in paper 2 it becomes a bit difficult. So like for example, I told in governance part I used, and also in topics, for example, society, social justice, international relations, which are not in prelim syllabus, which are very unique to mains part, which are the peripheral topics we call. In those topics I had always prepared some ready-made kind of diagrams and flowcharts. Like I had a set of 5 to 6 flowcharts for each paper, which I will use in any case. Whatever questions come, I will try to fit in those, because while writing mains we do not have much time to think. There is limited time and we have to complete our paper also. So if we had already done this thinking part, execution becomes easy. So in paper 2 also I had done similar thing I had made, and paper 3 also in technology part, the science and technology part that is there. Economics also I had done. I had prepared already 5 to 6 flow chart, and even in environment I had made unique examples from all over country and made one map and pointed all the examples there, so that if any example I have to make, I'll just make India's map and point there. So this kind of things I have done.
Then it's a message to students, those who are ready to appear for the mains this year. So please make some kind of flow chart or those graph beforehand, so that you can produce it in your answer, because we do not have much time to think and then make a flow chart of that. Okay. Then moving to this GS paper 4, it generally said that this essay paper, ethics and optional, which decides your whether you are going to be in that golden PDF or not. So what's your take on this ethics paper, because you have scored 120 in that? So please guide our students about answer writing as well as the case studies, which is generally have much weightage on the GS paper 4.
Yes sir, I feel that ethics is a very beautiful paper, both because first it gives you very high marks, and second it needs very little effort to prepare. You can prepare whole of ethics in hardly a week. So cost benefit ratio is very good in ethics paper. Last year I was not able to complete ethics paper to my benchmark what I had set for myself. So this year I had put in extra efforts for ethics. Sir, as you said that case studies are very important in ethics paper. But what I did last year was I gave extra importance to case studies and ignored the questions part. So in exam also I wrote case studies very beautifully and gave more than the time that I could have devoted to it, because of which the quality of my answers, 4 to 5 answers, were compromised and I could not write good answers there. So this time firstly I focused on time, various papers, test papers, sitting in home only for 3 hours continuously. This way I had ensured that I am giving equal time to both the question answers part as well as the case studies part. Secondly, sir, in case studies, what I did was I tried to include very practical aspects in my case studies. First, I tried to do was I talked to my father and asked him about the importance of DM or SP or whatever authorities are around us, and how they actually implement things in real life, apart from the bookish things that we already know. Certain case studies which are given there, that certain situations are there, how will you handle? I asked if any such situation has happened in real life and how any DM has like tackled it. So this way I got real inputs, like how real officers are doing things and how I have to deal things in case studies. So the practical aspect I bought from there. And thirdly, sir, in question answers thing, again, in question answers thing, I used the notes of various toppers. Last time various toppers had uploaded their sheets of examples and things that they have used in ethics. So I read all the example sheets that were available online, and I had sorted down things which I can remember, because I cannot remember very tough examples. I'm not very good with memory. So I just made small and little simple examples which I can readily use there, like which are very applicable. So this way, and I made sure that in every ethics answer, I'm quoting one example at least. In every point, if I'm writing, that is not just based upon blabbering, I have to substantiate it with a real time example. So, and I brought it into practice by writing various papers of ethics. So this way, I was able to like improve 20 marks. Last time I got 96, 97. This time I had got 120.
So the last set of questions, let me ask you. One thing which generally bothers students, whether to write answer, I mean how to write an answer, whether to join test series, how many answers we should write before we go into that real time exam, or we go into that mains of UPSC. So what would be your take? How many test series you have written or you have joined, or how did you use that test series? Please share with our students.
Yes, sir. Answer writing is a very important part, because what we do is we start learning things, but we are not able to implement that in exam scenario. So what I did was, after prelims exam is over and after the result comes out, what I did was every week I wrote at least one paper, 3-hour paper, sitting in my home itself. So there are various platforms, they will provide free test papers. I used those test papers and wrote the 3-hour test there only. And just before mains, when 1 month is left, like 4 weeks, I used to write 2 papers each day, like the schedule of the real mains examination. This way, sir, actually we can assess if we are able to complete our paper in 3 hours or not. We can improve our speed, our handwriting, and if we are able to actually use our information or not. So test series has helped me also to like make time management good, and also to revise stuffs in better way. Like just before examination, I flipped the pages of my test only, and I used like sometimes what happens is, when you are writing, you quote very beautiful examples. So just before exams, when you see those answers, you get a confidence that I am the one who has written this beautiful answer, so I'll do good in real exam also. So it can be used as confidence booster. And even for essay paper, what I did was I wrote like every week I wrote 2 essays at least. So those essays were set of collection, which I used to like practice my introduction and conclusion things. So I just read those essays before going in real examination. So I feel test series, I had not joined any formal test series. I had just used the free test available in the net only. But there was a test conducted in my city, Raipur only, like set of 4 tests which were conducted before me. That test I had given. Apart from that, I had not taken any formal test series. But every platform that provides free test, I just took that test and wrote myself, analyzed it myself with the standard answers that they give, and this way I use the test series.
That means answer writing is the key. We should start writing answer for this year mains also. Okay, so we have discussed like various aspects of your preparation, and you also highlighted some of the key aspects, like how to prepare those kind of short notes kind of thing, which you can revise at the last minute. So thank you very much for your insights, and thank you everyone, and thank you once again for your success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.